أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه وبعد. Inshallah ta'ala, we'll continue from where we stopped regarding the teachings of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam on relieving oneself in the toilets, what to do when one is relieving oneself. We've mentioned about 7 or 6 of the guidance of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and we said we should be quick, fast as possible when we are pressed. We said we should distance ourselves from the sight of people. We talked about not facing and backing the Qibla. We also talked about saying Bismillah before going into the toilet. And we said when one wants to go to the toilet, it is from the Sunnah to say Bismillah, Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min al-khubuth wal-khaba'ith. Also, I'm not sure if we said that when we want to enter the toilet, we enter with which leg? Which leg? I've already said the answer, the left leg. So we go out with the right leg. So also we talked about the teaching of the Prophet ﷺ is that he would squat to defecate or to urinate. But sometimes if there is a need to stand up to do that, you could also do that, as there is a report of this from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam as well. While one is urinating or defecating, it is from amongst the teachings of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam not to talk. Keep quiet till you finish the whole thing. So also, inshallah, tonight we'll look into about 3 of the teachings of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in respect to defecating and urinating as well. The first of them is Adamul Istinja bil Yadil Yumna. We should not cleanse ourselves up with right hand. It is from amongst this dislikable act. What is disliked? To clean up oneself with your right hand after defecating or urinating. And the evidence to this is that Abu Qatada radiyallahu anhu, he said, قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إذا شرب أحدكم فلا يتنفس في الإناء وإذا أتى الخلاء فلا يمس ذكره بيمينه ولا يتمسح بيمينه. The Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم, as narrated by Abu Qatada, he said, if any of you drinks فلا يتنفس في الإناء, he should not breathe in the cup or in the vessel he's drinking from. It's not good to breathe into what you are eating or drinking. So there are health-related issues to this effect. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. وَإِذَا أَتَى الْخَلَاء, if any of you enters the restroom, فَلَا يَمَسَّ ذَكَرَهُ بِيَمِينِهِ, he should not touch his private with his right hand. He shouldn't touch his private with his right hand. وَلَا يَمَسَّحْ بِيَمِينِهِ, and he should not clean up his private as well with his right hand. So, which hand do we use when we want to clean up after defecating or urinating? The left. Because the Prophet ﷺ forbade using the right hand to do all of this. This is the teaching of the Prophet ﷺ as regards to that. Also, استعمال الأحجار أو الماء للاستنجاء, using the stones or the likes, or using water for cleaning up oneself after defecating or urinating. It is from amongst the sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam to use stones or the likes, like the leaves, the cloth, the handkerchief, the paper, what again? The stick. Anything that could replace water if water is not available. That is what we call al-istijmar. Those scholars sometimes they call it al-istinja as well. But to be specific, Anything you are using to clean up after defecating or urinating other than water, we use the word al-istijmar. But we can use al-istinja for the general, both water and the one that is not water. So, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as narrated by Salman al-Farisi, may Allah be pleased with him, he said, قال لنا المشركون إني أرى صاحبكم يعلمكم حتى يعلمكم الخراءة. Salman al-Farisi, may Allah be pleased with him. Look at what we are discussing since all of these days. Defecating, urinating. One would ask, what is that? Defecate and urinate, go on and leave. But because Islam is a detailed religion, is a religion that emphasizes, in fact, the issue, the matter that you think it does not make sense, it makes sense in the deen. One of the polytheists during the lifetime of the Prophet ﷺ, he was telling Salman al-Farisi, he said, إِنِّي أَرَى صَاحِبَكُمْ, I saw your companion. He was referring to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. يُعَلِّمُكُمْ, he teaches you almost everything. أَتَّى يُعَلِّمَكُمُ الْخِرَاءَ, that is even teaching you how to defecate, how to urinate. It teaches you everything. And فَقَالْ, then he responded, Ajal, yes, he does teach us everything. إِنَّهُ نَهَانَا أَن يَسْتَنْجِيَ أَحَدُنَا بِيَمِينِهِ. Indeed, he forbade each and every one of us to clean up himself with his right hand. أَوْ يَسْتَقْبِلَ الْقِبْلَةِ, or to face the qibla while he's urinating or defecating. وَنَهَى عَنِ الرَّوْثِ وَالْعِظَامِ, and he forbade us to use a roast. Roast is like the dried feces of animals. Like the cow, their feces is also always like stone like this. Once they are dried up, the Prophet ﷺ forbade us to use it to clean up ourselves because it's also dirty in the first place. So the Prophet ﷺ forbade us to do that. وَالْعِظَامِ, bones, dried bones of animals. Sometimes bones sometimes they look like stone. It is forbidden to use a bone to clean up ourselves after defecating or urinating. In one of the hadiths that was reported by Imam Muslim, it was said that the bones is the food for the jinn. So we don't use it. So you don't use dried bone. Waqal, and he said, La yastanji ahadukum biduni thalathati ahda. This is where we are going. And any one of you should not clean up himself with less than 3 stones. With less than 3 stones. If you are doing istijmar, which is other than water, the least is 3. So that you will be rest assured that you are clean. If you use 3 stones or 3 papers, 3 leaves, and as the case may be, and you are still looking at, this thing is long, do 5. If you do 5 and this thing is not that clean, use 7 until you are satisfied. But, don't be, sometimes, scholars, they would say, Al-jam'u baynahuma khayr. If you can combine both of them, most of the toilets, the present day toilets, they will have tissue. So if you can combine using the tissue like 3 times and adding it with water, it's fine. It's fine. Because sometimes shaitan usually brings waswasa in this regard. You would have done everything, you still be thinking, am I clean? So you don't have to bother yourself. The main thing that concerns you is do it rightly and make sure that while you're doing it, you are doing it rightly. And forget about the waswasa of shaitan. This is the teaching of the Prophet ﷺ as regards to using the stones and using the water. Also, at-tanzif al-jayyid ba'da qada'i al-haja. We should clean ourselves up very well after urinating and defecating. We should do that very well. And this comes from the previous hadith. Why did we say so? In the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, there is a stern warning. In fact, not cleaning oneself very well after urinating and defecating could lead one to adhab al-qabr. Na'udhu billahi min dhalik, the punishment of the grave. And let's look into this hadith together. It was narrated by Abdullah ibn Abbas radiyallahu anhuma. He said, مر النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم بحائط من حيطان المدينة. He said the Prophet ﷺ was walking around one of the walls of the Medina, or Mecca, he wasn't so sure. So he said he was walking around the walls of the Medina or Mecca. That is how the narration comes. فَسَمِعَ صَوْتَ إِنسَانَيْن يُعَذَّبَانِ فِي قُبُورِهِمَا. And he heard the voice of two persons that are being punished in their grave. This is to tell us that the miracle of the Prophet ﷺ is that he hears something that we ordinarily cannot hear. He hears the voice of the jinns. He hears the voice of those in the grave that are being punished. وَمَا يُعَذَّبَانِ فِي كَبِيرٍ ثُمَّ قَالَ بَلَى. The Prophet was asking like a rhetorical question. They are not being punished for something big? No, it is something big. Like he was asking them like a question to establish the fact that what they've done to them may not seem to be a big thing, but indeed it is big. وَمَا يُعَذَّبَانِ فِي كَبِيرٍ ثُمَّ قَالَ بَلَى. And he said, كَانَ أَحْدُهُمَا. One of them, لَا يَسْتَتِرُ مِنْ بَوْلِهِ. He said one of them, when he urinates, he does not protect himself well. Like some of the urine drops on his body. Some of the urine drops on his clothes. He does not clean up himself well to the point that some of the urine falls on his clothes and on his body. The Prophet ﷺ continues the statement and he said, وَكَانَ الْآخَرُ. The other person, يَمْشِي بِالنَّمِيمَةِ. He walks around with النميمة. Namima is which word is that? When you always say everything about other people. Gossiping. Jazakumullah khair. You don't know what to let people see them as bad persons or evil persons. You are saying they are evil or they are. Is it backbiting?
Yeah,
backbiting, gossiping.
Yeah.
So they relate. So an-namima is you saying the affairs of other people in a bad way so that they can be seen as evil. And you don't know that brother, he does this, he does that. Don't move close to him. Subhanallah. Why? So you are tarnishing the image of your brothers, Muslims. So this is what the Prophet ﷺ. In fact, there's another hadith that the Prophet ﷺ, لا يدخل الجنة النمام. The one who backbites or gossips will not enter al-Jannah. So the Prophet ﷺ mentions here, the other person is the one who is backbiting and gossiping. ثم دعا بجريدة. And the Prophet ﷺ asked them to bring a stick. فكسرها كسرتين. And the Prophet ﷺ broke the stick into two. فوضع على كل قبر منهما كسرة. Then he placed each of the two sticks on their grave, like on their grave. He placed one on the first one and the other one on the second. فقيل له, and he asked him, يا رسول الله, O Messenger of Allah, لما فعلت هذا? Why did you have to put this stick on their grave? And the Prophet responded, لعله أن يخفف عنهما ما لم تيبسا أو إلى أن ييبسا. That it is hopefully that they reduce the punishments they are receiving until these two sticks, they are wet until they dry up. Now, this tells us that, scholars warn against. You will see some people when they are digging the grave, and after the whole process of burying, they will now go find stick. Are you thinking your brother is in hell? That's the question. Like they will go find stick and put on the. Of course, it means it's so open li'akhi. Because the reason why the Prophet ﷺ put that on the grave was because he saw that they have been punished. Sorry, brother said for backup. So if you do that at the first instance, it means you are feeling that your brother is being punished. Now we'll be learning them. So we don't need that. So the case of the Prophet sallallahu khasun bin Nabi is specific to the Prophet. He knows the eating. We don't know. So inshallah, we stop here and we continue from next class. Inshallah. Subhanakallahum. Okay.
About flowers.
Flowers? No. You said? Flowers on the grave. I've not heard of that in the teach. I've not heard. Or is there a scenario? I've not heard of that. So I've not read of. It's close to the way of the kuffar. It's close to the way of the kuffar. So I've not read about that, and I've not had a hadith that supports putting flower for what?
Planting some flowers.
That's the Nasara and the Mushriki.
That is the Nasara or the Yahud.
Not the Muslim.
In the top of the grave, they planted, put it there, the dirt on top of it. They planted like not flowering, exactly flower. They plant some plants on top of it, and they
Why do they have to plant it on top of the grave? Is there no other place they can plant it? Why must it be on top of the grave?
I'm telling people do that.
Okay, I don't know of this. Wallahu alam. I don't know.
I'm not saying why.
And one of the corner or something like they plant the tree and then they pour the water. That's another thing. Then they build with the bricks and everything, decorate the grave.
That is the way of the kuffar. The way of the kuffar. In fact, Islam does not even want us to beautify the.
Yeah.
So, in fact, there's a hadith that says they should scatter any grave that is being built or that is they should level it. So
some places they do put the name. They put a little stone and they put the name this way when they come to visit the grave.
That one could be that could be accepted. But if you look at some subhanallah in where I'm coming from, someone died in a particular state. I think about close to maybe 7 years now. Subhanallah, if you look at the house in which the what's it called? The grave is being built, gold. Most of the brothers will know, and they will know what, but I don't want to say the name. So gold, everything. Subhanallah, in fact, some of our houses are not as beautiful as air condition. Since the person is receiving, subhanallah. We pray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continue to be with us. Subhanallah. Okay, sir.